Hi guys, it's Steph again. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about CrossFit and informing you a little bit about it. A lot of you have probably heard of it, and you've probably heard good and bad things. But today I'm going to give you my take on it and how it has changed my life personally, and give you some information about what it is and how you could do it, or if it's something that you would be interested in. So, what is CrossFit? Um, The quote that I took from the official website says that CrossFit is constantly varied functional movements performed at a relatively high intensity. All CrossFit workouts are based on the functional movements of life, and these movements reflect the basic aspects of gymnastics, weightlifting, running, rowing, and more. These are the core movements of life. I think that at its best describes what CrossFit is. I love it because I have never been the kind of person that has gone to a regular gym and been able to do anything effectively because I just get bored really easily using machines. Something that CrossFit does very well is that it is not only exercises that use weights, but that are exercises that we do on a daily basis, like squatting and pulling our body weight up and moving heavy things that we're going to be doing for the rest of our life and that we have been doing since we were little. Um, I have been doing CrossFit. I did it for 2 years, my junior and senior year of college, and then I started back up 2 months ago here in Newport News. I started because my mom and me got introduced by some of our close friends to what it is. And she was in the military and loves that kind of working out with a group and people pushing her on. I love it because of that reason, because of the community. It's different from a regular gym because there's no mirrors. You aren't focusing on your weight. You wouldn't really usually find a scale in a CrossFit gym because they really push people to be looking at goals of being stronger and being able to get over something that's hard to do rather than losing 5 pounds or dropping a pant size. Those things definitely come along with the hard work that you put in, but it's not the ultimate goal. For example, right now I have some goals up on my wall that are being able to do certain types of pull-ups and push-ups and things of that nature. And instead of me being so focused on losing 5 pounds, I'm more focused on gaining the muscle and the ability and putting in the hard work to be able to do these goals. I also, with the community, it's just great because the workouts, you're doing it alongside of somebody else. And those people are cheering you on and pushing you to be better and things of that nature. Um, the next thing that I'm going to go into is kind of the body of what CrossFit is, and explain some of the workout of the day. And so when you go to a gym, they usually have that written up so you can see what you're going to be doing for the rest of the day for your workout. And then with that, there's things that are underneath WODs that are usually written. The first would be an AMRAP, and that is AMRAP, so as many reps as possible. And so for those, you have things such as do 5 rounds, or try to do as many rounds of 5 push-ups, 10 pull-ups, 20 air squats. And they'll put a time cap of, say, 12 minutes, and you do as many as you can in that time. Another thing would be Metcon, and that is something that they use a lot, and it means metabolic conditioning. And that is just doing 2 or 3 exercises repeated for a certain amount of time, same kind of thing. And then another one is a Tabata, and that is 20 seconds of all-out exercise followed by 10 seconds of rest. These are all kind of just the jargon of CrossFit that I think a lot of people get intimidated by, when in reality they are just shorter ways of saying things that you're doing. Another thing that really goes hand in hand with CrossFit is diet, and that's with any fitness, but especially with this. A lot of people you'll hear do the zone diet or the paleo diet, and a lot of those diets are very high fat, high protein, high veggie, not a lot of grain, not a lot of processed foods, not a lot of white sugars, anything like that, white potatoes, anything like that. And it's just really focusing on eating a lot of veggies and a lot of protein. Another huge thing that I love to talk about and feel very passionate about is the safety behind it. I think that the best thing that CrossFit does is that for most people, when you start, you have to do an essentials class. In that class, you have a coach work with you one-on-one, and they teach you all the different movements that you'll be doing, so you don't just go right into a class and start throwing things around. The other thing that goes along with that is that in every class, no matter essentials or just a regular class, you're going to have a coach walking around. And that coach is going to be checking your form and checking the way that you're doing different things alongside of cheering you on. With safety, I think a huge thing is just realizing that you can't push yourself too hard. Something that happened personally in my life is that me and my mom started, and she worked out way too hard the first week and ended up getting rhabdomyolysis. And if you don't know what that is, it's when your muscles break down, which is normal, but with rhabdo, your muscles continue to break down and they don't stop, and you usually have to be hospitalized, and it can lead to severe kidney failure and also death. Thankfully, my mom's got caught early on enough, and since then we both have been very careful about pushing ourselves too hard and making sure that we realize that you have to take it slow and steady and not add too much weight too fast, and to know your thresholds and when you should stop and when you should say that enough is enough and what's too much. Really, alongside with CrossFit is just being smart and listening to your body to take care of it, to make sure that you're using it well and not pushing it so hard that you're going to break. Another huge thing in the CrossFit community is the CrossFit Games. You'll hear a lot of people talking about that. It's really going on right around this time, actually. And with that, it's kind of like the Olympics for CrossFit. And you have people do regionals, and to be able to get to regionals, you perform in the open, and you sign up, and you have to do a certain amount of exercises that are put out by the head of CrossFit right now, Dave Castro, and he writes these up, and you do these, and if you score a certain number in your state, you get to go to regionals, and then from regionals, if you score a certain number at regionals, you get to go to the games, and the games happen once a year. They are in Carson, California, and everyone performs. It's I think a 4-day event. No, it's a 4-day event with a certain amount of exercises each day. A certain amount of events each day, and you compete against other athletes, and then whoever gets the top scores will continue to go on, and it's a point system, and so whoever has the most points gets first, second, third, and they are dubbed with the name The Fittest on Earth. It's a really cool thing, and you should definitely tune in, look it up, because it's going to be happening here in July. To conclude this, why should you try CrossFit? I think that you should try CrossFit because it is a lot more intimidating than it actually is. You'll probably find some of the best community and the best people at these gyms, or boxes as they call them. I think it's for everyone because it really can be modified and scaled for whatever level of fitness you're on, and I think it's perfect for everyone because it is the functional movements of everyday life. I personally have seen results. I feel stronger, I feel better, I can do more upper body stuff than I thought was possible, and I really encourage you guys to give it a try and research it. Thank you guys. Good night.